The Federal Reserve is committed to building awareness and education about the fraud landscape. Its goal is to help reduce fraud risk and advance the safety and security of the payment system. In recent years, efforts included a focus on understanding and mitigating fraud and scams. The Federal Reserve facilitated industry work groups that focused on fraud and scams respectively. As a result, the work groups developed definitions for fraud and scams and two classification models that can be used individually or together. Let's now explore interactions between the two models. The fraud classifier model, as seen on the left, is a set of tools and materials introduced in 2020. It helps organizations consistently classify fraud, better understand how fraudulent activity occurs, and gather insights on the magnitude of fraud across the payment industry. The model will help you answer questions to determine who initiated the payment, how the fraud was executed, and what type of fraud occurred. The scam classifier model on the right is a tool introduced in 2024 to help improve scam reporting, detection, and mitigation. The model will help you answer questions about a given case to determine if it was a scam, the result, the method of deception used to deceive or manipulate the victim, the scam category and type. This scam classifier model supports consistent and detailed classification, reporting, analysis, and identification of scams, attempted scams, and related trends. When used together, the models can help organizations to improve mitigation strategies and internal training through identification of fraud and scam types, enhance reporting, and educate customers on specific scam trends. We will walk through several connection points between the two models, including where users can bypass repetitive steps when navigating between them. The scam classifier model focuses on cases that appear to meet the definition of a scam, which is the use of deception or manipulation intended to achieve financial gain. Here, you can see key terms and definitions, as well as scam categories, types, and examples. Products or services scams may involve merchandise, investment, property sales, or rentals. Relationship and trust scams may involve people pretending to be romantic partners, representatives of the government, a bank, or a business, or a relative, family member, friend, or other trusted party. The plus signs show opportunities for additional classification based on whether the root cause was a scam. If manipulation is not a factor or is not known, identifying the fraud type as shown here completes the classification. We'll now present 4 scenarios where the models interact based on which version is used as the starting point and whether the payment or party was authorized or unauthorized. The first scenario we'll walk through is when the authorized party was manipulated. We'll start with the fraud classifier and move to the scam classifier model. The fraud classifier model identifies that an authorized party was manipulated to send the payment, either as products and services fraud or relationship and trust fraud. This case is a scam, so you can continue to the scam classifier model and align with the corresponding scam category. Why would you want to go deeper? More specific case details can be used in an organization's detection processes, reporting, and education. Knowing the type of scam offers more effective fraud signals to improve scam payment detection. When moving from the fraud classifier model to the scam classifier model, you already know who initiated the payment and how. It's an authorized party through manipulation. So fast forward to step 3 to match your result from the fraud classifier model to the appropriate scam category. Then in step 4, select the scam type based on the deception used. Once selected, the fraud and scam classification is complete. In the second scenario, we'll again walk through when the authorized party was manipulated. Only this time we'll start with the scam classifier model and then navigate to the fraud classifier model. As mentioned, we'll begin with the scam classifier model to identify an authorized payment. Navigate through each step in this scam classifier model to confirm the case is a scam and that the payment was authorized. Then select the scam category in step 3 and the scam type in step 4. Navigate to the fraud classifier model and use the scam category to align the fraud type, either products and services fraud or relationship and trust fraud. Then the classification is complete. The third scenario includes an unauthorized party and unauthorized payment. We'll begin with the fraud classifier model and then navigate to the scam classifier model. Again, we're beginning with the fraud classifier model and an unauthorized party as seen on the left. Answer the questions to identify the type of fraud. If compromised credentials, an impersonated authorized party, or digital payment is the fraud result, you have verified that an unauthorized party executed the fraud. Navigate to the scam classifier model to review the scam definition in step 1. Determine if the root cause was a scam. If this case appears to meet the scam definition, then continue to steps 3 and 4. If the case does not appear to meet the scam definition, then the fraud classification is complete. In the fourth and final scenario, we'll again show an unauthorized party and unauthorized payment. However, this time we'll begin with the scam classifier model and then navigate to the fraud classifier model. To begin, we'll use the scam classifier model to classify an unauthorized payment. Confirm the case appears to meet the definition of a scam in step 1. If yes, confirm the payment was unauthorized in step 2. Select the scam category in step 3 and the scam type in step 4. Then answer the fraud classifier model question, how was the fraud executed? Select the appropriate choice for fraud that was executed by the unauthorized party. The unauthorized party modified payment information, the unauthorized party took over the account, or the unauthorized party misused account information or payment instrument. Then select the fraud result. The classification is complete. If the case does not appear to meet the definition of a scam, continue to the first question in the fraud classifier model. In summary, organizations can benefit from understanding the connections between the fraud classifier and the scam classifier models. The fraud scenario and type may dictate using one or the other model as a standalone. However, using these models in conjunction can help identify additional critical classification details, avoid the need to answer repetitive questions, and surface actionable information for fraud mitigation. We hope this presentation helped to clarify connections between the two models. To access and download the full scam classifier and fraud classifier models, including supporting terms and definitions for each, visit fedpaymentsimprovement.org. Here, you'll find information on other timely security and fraud mitigation efforts and the latest in payment system advancements.